Dr. Red Taco in the house. Welcome, Dr. Red. How are you doing, my friend? Happy Friday. Yes, what can I say? No complaints out of me. It's gorgeous, beautiful, 85 degrees. What are we at? March 6th, Friday, March 6th. Dumaguete, Philippines. You can even look at that water. I always like when the sunshine just goes right through the water. But yep, you know what time it is. I'm laced up, ready to roll. I apologize about the wind. Yeah, the water is nice and clear. Hopefully my internet connection stays nice and clear. I think we'll be all right, unless I just jinx myself. Hey, afternoon, Brian. And we got Fortune here. Duke of Duma. I don't know if I deserve the honor of Duke of Duma. Maybe just Michael of Duma, but I like it. It's kind of catchy, and that's your unique nickname for me. I appreciate that. But again, happy Friday. It's really, really nice today. Like, no complaints. No complaints. SWAT 3 says hello. Hello, SWAT 3. Welcome to Dumaguete, Philippines. Friday afternoon, 12:13 in the afternoon on Friday, March 6th. Dumaguete. Possum is here. Greetings, Possum. Dr. Red says you see or talk to that Aussie. No, I haven't seen him around. He's a good guy. He's been in the live streams before. He's the one that actually asked me a question maybe a few weeks ago about where I felt here in Dumaguete was the best place to exchange foreign currency and get the best transfer rate, closest to the actual rate, you know, places that don't really take much of a profit. And there's a place called Optimum. Optimum is a place I went to, and it was almost spot on with the amount that you know, the actual exchange rate was. They didn't take much of a profit. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it was. Bees popping. Hello, bees popping. I Ant something. Moss B says, are you on vacation? I'm living here in Dumaguete, Philippines, but every day living here is like a vacation for me. That's definitely for sure. But thank you, bees popping, for being here. Brian said he's an Aussie, goes without saying he's a good guy. There you go. I agree with that, Brian. Yeah, he's just a nice guy. I mean, it's not that difficult. I guess I'm learning now to run into people that might be, which is a blessing, subscriber to my channel. He could have seen me on the Boulevard, but I'm kind of like in the main area. So, and as much as I walk around everywhere, it's not unusual for people to notice me, or let alone maybe say something, which was completely humbling. I really appreciated that. But thank you, bees popping. Nabel 32668. Is this America? I think it's dark in America. This is Dumaguete, Philippines, Nabel. I'm from the United States, though. My name's Michael, born and raised from Pennsylvania, with the exception 2 years lived in Florida. But now I'm in Dumaguete, living abroad here in the Philippines. Don't worry, there are plenty of Aussie. There's plenty of that, no matter where they're from. But for the most part, for me, I seem to, I don't know, I do fairly well. I don't meet that many people that aren't, like, you know, the super nicest people. Ibra love football. You like it in there? Yeah, I love it here. I'm a warm weather guy, so that's an easy thing for me to answer. John Vasquez is here. Hello. Juti Ong, Juti, Juxiong 53 with the emojis. But yeah, I love it here. Mel says, I thought you were Australian. I don't know my accent. Brian, do you think I have an Australian accent? Brian's an Aussie, so he would know that for a fact. I'm not, I don't know. Teacher Pocahontas, how long you plan to stay there? I don't have a set time for the foreseeable future. I came here in July of 2024 and was only supposed to stay for 2 months. I liked it so much, I extended my stay. I was able to. Stayed here until March 2025, then went back to the United States March 17th. Figured out some things, could financially afford to live here. Retired at 55. I am 55, so I retired at 55. And savings, and I can survive, live here very happily. It suits me just fine, the lifestyle that I have. Warm weather guy. So yeah, came back in June of 2025 and been here ever since. I'm not in any hurry to return to the US, but I might surprise my mom maybe May 29th in time for her birthday, or June or July, somewhere around there. Teacher Pocahontas says, good choice, welcome to the Philippines. Yeah, I love it here. But I always preach and tell people, they'll always ask me, what are your favorite things? Everything I enjoy here, but first and foremost, the most important thing I enjoy about the Philippines is the people. That's what I love. This is called the Boulevard, Ibra. Love football. It's a boulevard. It's like, a boardwalk in the US, but it's brick. I'd say it's much more, much more sociable here in the Philippines. Especially at night, they have vendors that set up. People bring their random karaoke machines, hang out. Yeah, I love it. It's 85 degrees right now, good breeze. My apologies if it's blowing into the mic, but I'm gonna go walk through the city. I walk every day in the Philippines. I'm a big exercise and not big advocate of eating as healthy as possible, exercising, especially walking. Wouldn't do me any good if my health wasn't so good and I couldn't enjoy all the, opportunities there are. So many things to see, adventurous hikes and whatnot. So, yeah, health is vital. I mean, I was like that before here, but now that I'm here, it's even more important. I did see you, Rick Wallace. I see you there. Hello, Rick Wallace. Ibra, Brooklyn Boulevard, LOL. Yeah, where are you from, Ibra? Love football. Where are you from? Truth Anonymous says, what is the current value? Last I looked was, 58 something the other day. 58 point something to the 58 point something Filipino pesos to the dollar. To 1 USD. So I think it was like 58 something. I haven't looked. It fluctuates every day, so. Mayung Moto. 29 and 69% humidity. Brian says, Neil Chapman says, good day, Michael. How's your day going, my friend? It is good. And Neil Chapman, I'm guessing here, but just to hear the name Chapman sounds familiar. I think I remember you, and I apologize if I don't, but I thank you for being here again, Neil. I think you've been here before. Dr. Red says, Lancaster, PA, home of the Dutch Amish. 55 Football says, Jesus loves you. Yes, I believe so too. Yeah, Jesus does love me. Loves everyone, actually. Brian says, 1 US oh, so it's at 59. That's nice, it went up. That's what's good, now that I'm kind of learning the best way to transfer and manage money. I like the idea of, from my bank in the US, go to a Wise account, serves as like the middleman, and then go from my Wise account to Gcash to have money to spend here. Very inexpensive for transfer fees. So it's fun. And then I kind of keep an eye on it. I can at least transfer money from the US, leave it sit in my Wise account until I want to convert it to Gcash pesos. But I kind of, like I said, I keep an eye on the current exchange rate. Obviously, you want to get the best bang for the dollar when you can. And it got close to 60 not that long ago. I don't know if it's going to hit 60, but that would be really beneficial to me. Neil, thank you then. I appreciate that. And Dirty Johnny, if I pull your finger, you're probably gonna relieve yourself, I'm guessing. But appreciate you being here, Dirty Johnny. Thank you again, Neil Chapman. And Brian says 55. No, he didn't. Maybe I missed something. Brian sent out for me anyway. Jem says it's 11:20 p.m. Where are you? Where it's daytime. I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines. That's where I'm at. Dumaguete, Philippines. Gem 3506. Fortune says 1:20 p.m. East Coast. Well, I guess, let me think. You mean East Coast in the U.S., it would be 11:20 at night. So they're Thursday night, 11:20 p.m. I'm 13 hours, if that's what you're saying, I'm 13 hours ahead. But I think daylight savings starts for them this upcoming weekend, so then I'll go back to 12 hours time difference. Canadian says, Canadian Gig Life C. Kelly says, hello, 9:20 p.m. Well, Canadian, welcome. Thank you for being here in Dumaguete, Philippines. I'm from U.S., living abroad here, out on my daily walk. Ah, cool. We actually got music playing drums on a truck. I didn't know there was a parade today, but maybe this is just some little thing, but this is interesting. See? Maybe it's just a little thing. I don't know what that's for, but Jeff Virgil says, hello, Jeff. Hey, guys, hit the like button. Mike, appreciate your support. Yes, I always do, and I'm very thankful that you guys support me. Couldn't do it without you, that's for sure. But a beautiful day here in Dumaguete, Philippines. Like I said, 85 degrees. Might feel a little hotter, but feels good to me. I'd rather sweat than freeze my butt off. Oh, cool. We got FJ8 says 1320 from Japan. Jeff, I got you, Jeff. Brian says, Mark, most do, but they are taught English, but most seldom get practice. Yeah, exactly. On the most of them speak English. For the most part, they do. And if they don't speak it so well, they at least understand you. I've met a lot of people here in the Philippines. They understand English better than they speak it. But I also think a lot of it's confidence also. I think they know it, but they're just not confident in speaking it because they're like shy. Derek is here. Hello, Derek. Lynn Angel is here. Says, hello, Michael and Che. Yeah, it was like a mini parade there at Canadian Gig Life. I mean, very mini. I don't know what that was. I was hoping there was more. I kind of like it when they have the parades through the city, especially the drums. I really like the drums. Get you fired up. Derek is here. Aloha from Hawaii, and thank you always, Derek, for being here from Hawaii. I'm humbled all the time when people come here, no matter where you're from, but I think I'm extra humbled when someone shows up from Hawaii, just because Hawaii's, well, I've never been there, but you know it's beautiful. So it's humbling when someone visits me in the Philippines from Hawaii. But then again, I feel that way about everybody. Okay, Fortune says, could be celebrating anniversary or just a marketing promotion. That's very true. It was neat while it lasted. I liked it. I think a lot of people are on their lunch breaks now. That's why you see a lot of people out. Maybe I'm gonna zigzag and crisscross over here. Thank you. John asks, how are the women there? Me being biased, I, in my opinion, think all the women here, and everybody, male or female, they're all beautiful people inside and out. If you're specifically wanting to target the women, I'd say, again, I'm biased. I think Filipino women are some of the most beautiful women in the world. But then in my opinion, there's also beautiful women everywhere. But Asia, it's just different. They have a different natural beauty to them. But it's not just what's on the outside for me. Amazing hearts, very good people, as is everybody here, especially Dumaguete, Philippines. But yeah, I would say the women, in my opinion, are beautiful people, inside and out. But everybody's different. Dr. Red says, Michael near Watson's Lee Super Plaza for DC's. You're so good at this, Dr. Red Taco. I greatly appreciate. Dr. Red is my personal navigator. He always updates where I'm at. So if someday, Dr. Red, I run into you here in Dumaguete, I'm gonna know why, because I feel like I got a tracking device on me. You know exactly where I'm at. But I appreciate what you do anyway. Dan to Earth says, is this Chicago? No, Chicago would be nighttime. It's Dumaguete, Philippines. It's 12:28 in the afternoon, Friday afternoon. Dumaguete, Philippines. Chicago. I guess some parts could resemble parts of Chicago. I think everything kind of looks similar to an extent, just with the exception of, I don't know of a place in the US that's got all these motorbikes everywhere. That kind of makes it look different. I guess I'm gonna get stuck. I'm gonna go before I get stuck. This dude says, I live in this damn country. I love it here. This dude. Welcome, this dude. Welcome to my channel. I appreciate you being here. Glenn Levy. Oh, wait, let me go back here. I'm trying to catch everybody. Oh, we got Rego Park, New York is here. It says, hi from Queens, New York. We are changing the clocks ahead 1 hour this weekend. I know you're not there. Will you still come on the same time here? Yeah, I'll always be the same time. So in other words, yeah, you guys are turning the clock. So instead of me being 13 hours ahead of the East Coast, I'm only gonna be 12 hours. Time never changes here. So basically you'll be adjusting your clock. Mine's always the same. There's no daylight savings here or anything like that. So thank you, Rego, for being here. Glenn Levy says, hello from British Columbia, Canada. Good to see you again. It's been a bit. Well, Glenn, I apologize for not remembering you, but I appreciate you saying hello and telling us where you're from. I think that's one of the coolest parts of doing YouTube personally. Not only sharing my inspirations and stuff, but I like when people say where they're from. It's humbling, you know? I guess I kind of expect people from the US, but when you get people from Canada, hell, someone in here from Japan, Australia, wherever, that's humbling. It just makes me happy. Another simple pleasure, happiness. So good, thank you for being here, Glenn. Fortune says, if you get lucky and find the right Pinay, you will be treated well. Not only love, but will take care of you. Service is the love language. That is so true. I'm not used to being the way my girlfriend takes care of me, Che. It still blows my mind because I'm so used to taking care of myself, so self-sufficient. I'm not used to somebody taking care of just about everything. Even when I want to do it, just because I take pride in being a part of a team and helping, she'll stop me from doing some things, and I don't want to feel like helpless. That's for sure. This dude says, I live in Valencia. You can literally walk to my house. You know this dude? I've walked not that far from Valencia. Candao, I've walked from Kandawai the whole way back here into the city. I'm a walker. Some might refer to me as a walking fool. I enjoy walking 10 miles a day, to be exact. That's my daily goal. If I go over 10 miles, great. And then some people say, Michael, you're crazy. Why do you walk in the hottest time of the day? I just like the sun. I don't mind it. Energizes me. Yeah, but I appreciate you being here, this dude. You live in Valencia. I like Mango Ranch. I like that restaurant there at Mango Ranch. It's like a steakhouse or something. I didn't get steak when I was there, but the food was really good. I like it a lot. You could literally walk. Mayong muto. Rick Wallace says 8:20 Monday, Las Vegas time. And I always appreciate it. It's like, again, another humbling thing. Everybody takes the time to come back and hang out with me and support me. Dingo Mike says you love the Filipinos. Of course, I love everybody here because they love me in return. I mean, it's such a welcoming, humbling experience to be here in the Philippines. Completely unlike anything I've ever experienced being loved or welcomed as a community in a different country. I never experienced anything like this. So you just treat people with respect, which to me is an easy thing to do. I don't have to try. And it's amazing what you get in return from people. Bill O'Meyer, hey, Bill, 32 degrees here and blowing in a snowstorm. I'm waiting for the day, Bill, that I look forward to it when you just give me some crazy, really hot temperature. It'll be a nice change. Mayong muto. It'll be a nice change for you. Different weather update. But I appreciate you being here, Bill. This dude says, have you been to Robinson? Oh yeah, this dude. Robinson's here in the city, and then the Robinson's Mall. More so for grocery shopping, but yes, I've been to both. Derek says no daylight savings in Hawaii also. Well, that's good. You know what? I never knew that. That's actually good. That's actually good to know. I never knew that. I figured it was all the states, anything that was a part of the U.S. I wonder if Puerto Rico has daylight savings. I didn't know that. Thank you for educating me, Derek. Dr. Red says 12:30 p.m. Dumaguete. Dave Appel says at Glen Levy, I'm in BC as well. Are you ready for the last time change? Are all the states same time as Australia, daylight savings? I mean, everybody all the states, they have different time zones, but they all go ahead or behind an hour on the clock. Believe Love said hello, Believe. And then we got Michelle Pelletier, my friend, my very good friend, and honestly, you're an awesome supporter too. Says, good afternoon, Michael and chat. Another great day for a walk in Dumaguete. Thanks, Michael. Yeah, it's 85, sunny, Friday afternoon, 12:30 here, and yeah, very good day. Very, very good day. Ready for the weekend. Nothing really planned. Nothing special. We're supposed to go to Apo Island. We were going to do that during the middle of the week on either Tuesday or Thursday, but that fell through. Che wasn't feeling well, and we didn't want to go there where she wouldn't be able to enjoy herself. So we'll plan it another time. Derek says, my Filipina takes care of me too. Oh, no doubt. Glenn Levy says, about time, LOL. And then we got my friend Midas Knight says, hey, Cass, very positive feeling from you on your streaming. You know me. I mean, if I'm ever, I guess, not in the normal positive mood for a live stream, you guys will definitely probably know something's up. And chances are, trying to think, why would I not be in a good mood? Maybe because I don't feel good or something like that. But the good thing is that doesn't happen very often. But thank you, Midas Knight. This dude says, why is everyone looking at you weirdly? They don't look at you weirdly. Most of the time they smile, they say hello. Almost everybody, the majority of people here, especially the public market, which is neat, they have like people that they hire as almost like security, but you know, they just keep an eye on things, make sure, because everything's kind of out in the open. So they kind of just make sure, I guess, nothing's getting stolen and, you know, just things run smoothly. And actually, a lot of those people I've met here, security. I have a lot of friends that are actually security guards, believe it or not. And that's probably not a bad thing. But no, they don't look at you weirdly. Sometimes I feel bad because I miss them saying hello, because I'm focused on the chat, listening or reading what you guys are putting in the chat. Doing my best anyway to follow the chat. But no, they don't look at you weirdly, this dude. It's all good. Joe in the wash says, yo, how is beef and chicken? I think the chicken is chicken. Beef-wise, you have to do a little more shopping. I guess probably the better beef is what's imported. I've kind of, if I want ground beef, which I eat a lot more ground beef than I actually eat like steak or like beef tip, anything like that, I usually just go to Robinson's grocery store. Sometimes I go to Belchris to get imported beef. That stuff comes in like frozen. It's not bad either. For me, I can't say I've honestly had beef where the locations I've been here in the Philippines that rival beef from like maybe back in the US. But I'm sure there are bigger cities that probably have better quality beef than what I've had. Your favorite, Gurin says Indian or India maybe. I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines. Again, if you're new to my channel, my name is Michael. Sorry, I'm sweating. From the US, Pennsylvania specifically, living abroad here in the Philippines. Been here since July of 2024, and I absolutely love it. I'm a warm weather guy. That's the easiest thing I can explain why I'm here. I wanted to be somewhere where it was like summer all year round. 80 to 90 degrees here. Yes, they have rain season, but sometimes they get rain, sometimes they don't. Just like snow season in the US, sometimes you get a little snow, sometimes you don't get much. But yeah, living here abroad in the Philippines, out for my daily walk. Miriam Fabier said hello. Dr. Red says USA. 7:32 Eastern, 10:30 Central, Mountain, and then Pacific times. And hello, Miriam. I see you, Miriam. Possum says Arizona doesn't do daylight saving. See, and that's true. You know what, Possum? You're right. I don't know how they even determined what parts in the U.S. should or shouldn't have. Honestly, I don't think daylight savings even serves any purpose, especially when it's only an hour. I mean, I guess if it were a couple hours, that might have a little, but I don't see what the purpose of daylight savings is, other than the fact when kids get up for school certain times of the year, instead of it being dark at the bus stop, it's daylight. I don't know. I don't see any point in it. I think it messes with people's circadian rhythm more than anything. But Mermaid Muncher says, hey, what's up? This dude said, if you have kids, don't send them to Don Bosco. The place is no good. I can speak from experience. This dude, I know doesn't Don Bosco, if you're talking about, isn't that the one in New Jersey or something? Don't they have a good, always have good high school football though? If I'm thinking of the right Don Bosco, I'm thinking Jersey schools. I'm big into college football, so Don Bosco rings a bell to me. HY is here. Hello, HY. Thank you for being here. I remember you now. HY says hello. HY in 1982. Glenn says, hey, partner, what do you think about Cambodia? You know what, Glenn? I've never been there. I don't know if I've ever met or discussed anything about Cambodia with anybody. Seems like the most frequent countries that are discussed here that I've had discussions with from expats, foreigners here living in the Philippines, they either have been to Vietnam. Da Nang, Vietnam is very commonly spoken about. Thailand spoken about. And the place I would love to go visit someday, Japan, is spoken about a lot as well. I don't know. I've never met anybody that maybe has been to Cambodia. Not that I remember. I have friends in Malaysia. But yeah, mostly it's Da Nang, Vietnam, Thailand, and Japan that people take trips from here to visit there. Kathy Bishop says, not Arizona, no time change. Thank you, Kathy, and I appreciate you being here. Welcome to Dumaguete, Philippines, and thank you for being on my live stream. Don't hesitate to feel like you can't say anything, ask questions or comments. If I don't get it, I apologize. I'm just walking and trying to watch you guys on the chat, but then watch where I'm going as well. Yus Ramani says hello from Algeria. Well, welcome from Algeria, Youssef Ramani. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but I appreciate you being here. Matt Lockadin says, is Mexico. You're in Mexico, or this is Dumaguete, Philippines? I'm on my daily walk, walking around in Dumaguete, Philippines. But welcome, Matt. Rigo says, no, Puerto Rico, daily savings time. I love going down there. Isla Verde, San Juan is only 3.5 hours from JFK. Yeah, I've been to Puerto Rico. I've been to, I guess, Old San Juan and New San Juan. I went on cruises out of Puerto Rico, so I'm trying to remember. I think when I went in there, they take you in the New San Juan, but I did visit Old San Juan. I kind of ran around a little bit before the ship took off. But yeah, I've done cruises out of Puerto Rico. Yusef says Philippines. Yes, Philippines, Yusef. Bob says, how do most people there view the U.S.? Everybody I've met, and obviously you're speaking of locals, everybody thinks very highly of the U.S. here. They do. A lot of people, heck, a barber shop that I go to, they use for when they cut your hair, they put the sheet, the gown on you. My barber shop, they're all American flags in their barber shop. And I mean, I get, obviously U.S. and Philippines have a good relationship, but everybody I've met views me, knowing that I'm an American, just fine. I've never had any issues with anybody. Not yet, anyway. I guess I should say not yet, because anything's possible. Derek asked me, did you see Paul Old Dog latest video from Cebu? Very informative. You know what? I know who he is. I've seen him on occasion here in Dumaguete, because it's like I tell people, you'd be surprised. I mean, it doesn't surprise me because I walk around so much, even when I'm not doing a live stream, obviously, and I see a lot of other vloggers. I don't bother them. I just notice and I recognize who they are, and yeah. But I didn't see his video. Like, it's hard for me, I don't have a lot of time to watch a lot of videos in between on my free time. Like, I have my certain channels that I kind of frequent and support, and that's the best I can do. But yeah, I know who he is, but I don't know what maybe I'll look. You said something about informative about Cebu. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about Cebu. I've never spent enough time there to really see a whole lot other than spend the night in a hotel flying through. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know why that's stuck on there. All right, let me get down. Oh, let me see. Trevzit says, I have no stress because I am a foreigner. I don't mean I'm American. Yeah, I don't have any stress here either. Currently living in Ilocos, Nortra, far north, a UK Aussie citizen. Been to Cambodia. Totally different to here. This is far better. Talking about the US people here see me and say Americano. Yeah, I think that's kind of typical. Trev, but it's okay. Like I said, I've met a lot of nice Australian people here, Aussies, everybody I meet for the most part's great. I've never had issues with anybody, but I'm always, for me personally, I like meals here. I think it's more enjoyable, but then again, I'm from the US, so meeting an Australian here is kind of cool because I can't honestly say I met many Australians living in the US, but thank you for being here, Trev. Sabir Hussain says, how can we live chat with European women? I'm kind of stuck on that one. Glenn Levy says, there is a lady from States talks about Phnom Penh in Cambodia. Very interesting to talk to. Oh, Jesus Graciano. Hello, Michael. How's it going? How are you doing, Jesus? Well, happy Friday from Dumaguete, Philippines. No, this condo building doesn't look to be open yet. Hopefully at some point. Welcome, Jesus Graciano. Dingo Mike says Phil's, Vietnam, Thailand, China, Japan, into USA and out. Mayong Muto. I had to look at the clock. Sometimes I forget if it's after 1, it's Mayung Hampon. Derek says, in Indiana, the sunset don't go down until 9 in the summer. Yeah, that's the way it was in Pennsylvania. That's probably the one thing I do miss about, I enjoy when it stays daylight in the summer. Oh, I wish it would stay like that all the time, but in the summer in the US and Pennsylvania, it's awesome when it stays daylight to just about 9 o'clock all summer long. I really enjoy that, actually, Derek. Digger Nick says, damn, bro, I'm going to join you. No problem. Please do so, Digger Nick. Where are you from, Digger Nick? Fortune says, only in the Philippines that McDonald's is not #1 because of Jollibee. Yeah, they love their Jollibee here. I've tried it. Just, you know, do the Philippine thing and try Jollibee, but I don't really like any fast food, so I'm trying to get around here. I don't really like any fast food, so either way, it doesn't matter if it was Jollibee, McDonald's, or any of that. I'm not a fast food guy. Dr. Red Talker, this dude, Jollibee is in, yeah, it is in the US. I think it's in Florida. I think there's a Jollibee in Florida. Certain states with big Philippine populations, exactly. Terrence says, could I find a factory job there? Fortune, you might have to answer that. I'm sure there are factory jobs. I just couldn't begin to tell you where. That's definitely not my area of expertise. I apologize, Terrence, but maybe Fortune could answer that. Trev says, although my dual citizenship might be dual Aussie UK, I'm actually born and raised in Rhodesia. Heard of it? Yeah, I think I've heard of Rhodesia. I've heard that Rhodesia sounds familiar. Now, Zimbabwe. Dad was Brit, affording me a UK right of citizenship. That's very interesting, Trev. Very, very, very interesting. This dude says, yeah, I remember the Filipino-American War. I learned about that in elementary school when I was a little toddler. Yeah, I was a little toddler not that long ago. And we got Simon here. Simon says, hey, Michael, good afternoon. Hope you're well, mate. I'm great. And Philip's here also. Philip Montgomery says, hi, Michael. How you doing, Philip? Happy Friday from Dumaguete, Philippines. It's a beautiful day. I think, like I keep saying, I think the rain's finally behind us. I think more consistent sunshine and occasional rain. But welcome, Philip. This dude says, are you following that dude in the white shirt? You totally are. I don't know. He was behind me and got in front of me. Maybe I try to walk a little slower when I'm doing the live stream just because I don't want to shake the phone. I don't have my gimbal today. I'm just walking with my phone in my hand. Art Park says, hey, oh, Michael, you spelled Michelle. And Jay, glad to see you're above 4K. Yeah, that's a blessing. Anybody that subscribes, you know, that's just a blessing. Whatever, it is what it is. I don't really, honestly, you're the only person that's like brought it out here. Like, I don't really celebrate, oh, I got to this many thousand. I don't care. I mean, it is what it is. I can't worry about what I can't control anyway. But I appreciate you giving me the shout out on the over 4,000 subscribers. I'm fortunate. That's all I can say. Ben is here, said, I've seen the Jollibee in Orlando, Florida, although I never ate there. Yeah, that's when I've heard people mention Jollibees in Florida. Simon says, can you believe we had rain last night? First time in 3 months. That is wild because I thought everybody was basically getting hit with this wild rain technically rain season ended a while ago, and it seemed like it was not ending. Like, I feel like I got more rain here in Dumaguete after rain season than I actually did during rain season, which is kind of weird. Gino's here, says, good afternoon, my brother from another. Good afternoon, Gino. SB said you should at Yum. You must be talking about Jollibee. I gotta say hello to my friends. Sometimes I just use this. I don't always like using the gimbal, but yeah. Happy Friday. Yeah, so we got like 60 something people in there. You can see. Wow. Yeah. Where's that? He on break? Lunch break. Lunch break. I'll come back. All right.
He's there.
He's over there in the corner, standing there. All right, I'll go find him. Thank you. Amping. All right, he says my friend is around the corner here. Ah, there he is. I gotta say hi to my other friend. This is another big part of it too. Like, you make friends here, you gotta say hello. He's on his lunch break. Hey, man. You on your lunch break? Yes. All right, happy Friday though. Nice to see you, Amping. You're off tomorrow, no work, right? Yes. Saturday, Sunday, no work. Monday. Amping, nice to meet you. I'll see you later. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Simon says hello to Gino. I'm back down at the bottom. Fortune says, Bob, how do you define rich? How much in U.S.? Gino says hi to Art. Barb says, does the Philippines have rich people? Yeah, it's kind of like Fortune said. How do you define rich? I don't need to have a lot of money. And quite honestly, I feel a different kind of rich. First of all, I'm not rich, never will be any stretch unless I win the lotto or something crazy would happen. But I've learned about a different richness here. It's a humbled richness. The people that I've met here are so amazing in the Philippines. I feel like I have a lot of money, as crazy as that may sound. I have a happiness and energy when I wake up every day. Who am I gonna meet? Who's gonna say hello? Who's gonna smile? Those kind of things. So I guess for me, defining rich is happiness. And quite honestly, there's not a price on that in my opinion. I've done a lot of fun things in life. I bought a lot of nice materialistic things in life. But that was temporary happiness, and I've talked about that before. For me, you go out and buy a new car, okay, you're happy for a couple weeks, then that high wears off, and then you're back to reality. So I don't know if that answers your question, but Taku said, bro, where's that area? I'm on like the main street in Dumaguete, Philippines. If you've been here, you might recognize it. Yeah, Bob, a peaceful life makes us rich. That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. It's very different here. I'm humbled here. I get excited just to meet people every day. Drink a cup of coffee, go for a walk. I think all my friends are on lunch break. Mayong Muto, couple more minutes. You on lunch break? Hey, Amping, nice. I'm gonna say hello. Hi, Megan. Nice to see you. I gotta say hello to my other. How are you? Happy Friday, you guys. Enjoy yourself. I'll see you. Fortunately, you're exactly right. It's more fun in the Philippines. That's the way I feel. Simon says, me too, mate. Started watching a couple of nights ago. Looking forward to the new teams. F1 this year makes it more interesting. Fortune says, but if you define happiness like Mike said, we have plenty of that. And that's for me what I enjoy and love the most. Again, I wouldn't be here in the Philippines if it wasn't for the people. I'll be honest with you. It has the great weather. It has places you can travel, the nature, the oceans, the waterfalls, the different food. But to me, it's the people and the culture here. That's why I'm still here. I don't think if I didn't get such a welcoming, friendly vibe here all the time, maybe I wouldn't still be here in Dumaguete. Maybe I'd be searching, trying out other places. But then I felt this connection when I've been in Dumaguete, and it's just worked for me. Again, that's not to say it can't change. Everything changes, you know. Something better might come along, but for the time being, I'm perfectly happy and content here. Kind of going back here. This dude says, are you one of those religious people? No offense, I'm just asking. I don't know how you describe it. I don't really get into, I'll be honest with you, I don't get really into too much into religion and politics. I know I feel like I'm blessed every day to have this life and this opportunity, and I'm thankful for it. But I let people make their own decisions in life and choose what they want to do, because ultimately it's their life. I'm not here to push anybody in any certain way. People know what I feel, and that's about it. That I don't preach about it, if that's what you're asking this dude. Terrence says they have car wash places. Yeah, there's car wash places here. And plenty of fruit too. Mayong muto. Yeah, plenty of car wash places. But I don't have any vehicle or motorbike or anything that needs washed, so I couldn't really tell you where the first one is. But I know they have them. They definitely have places where they can wash your cars by hand. I see them by hand. I've never seen automated car washes here, but they do have places where the locals will wash your car, vacuum it out, and clean it. Agnes in Philippine Adventure says you don't need a lot to be happy, just simple. Yep, that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. Just something simple. And that's what my channel name used to be called, Something Simple. Although that was never supposed to be intentional and stay that way. I had that as a temporary channel name until I found something that I preferred. Terrence, let me see, Simon, trying to go back here a little bit. Stephen Davis says, aloha, old Michael, sitting here, we having a toke on Maui Wowie, checking out Dumaguete. I like their pineapple, avo, Angus cheeseburger. Wow, that sounds like something you're getting to eat in Hawaii. That does sound really good. I'm jealous, Stephen Davis. That sounds good. Bob says, oh, he was asking about rich people being a millionaire. I don't even ask people about money and stuff like that here, so I couldn't even answer that question. Dallas Jerry says, hey bro, how's life treating you? I'm doing well. Oops, sorry about that. I'm doing just great. Happy Friday from Dumaguete, Philippines. Again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name's Michael, from the United States, living here abroad, obviously in Dumaguete, Philippines. Majority of my life born and raised in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Altoona. My current home address in the U.S. would be Mechanicsburg, Central PA. Lived in Pennsylvania all my life with the exception of 2 years. I lived in Florida, which I definitely prefer. I'm a warm weather person. I definitely prefer the warmer temperatures, which explains why I'm here in the Philippines. But I'd say it's even warmer. You don't get any, not that I know of, any cold fronts pushing down here into the Philippines like they did in Florida. Dallas Jerry says web designer. I don't know. Hey, bro. I don't know. What do you mean web designer? I'm kind of confused. Sorry. Fortune says, welcome, Simon. Regards everyone there. Terrence says, my friend is from Easton, PA. I'm familiar with Easton, PA. I've heard Easton. I think, isn't that Eastern Pennsylvania? Easton makes sense, Easton, but I'm pretty sure that's in Eastern PA. But I could be wrong. It could be near Pittsburgh on the western part of the state. But welcome, Terrence. Fortune says, no Walmart here. Our Walmart is SM. The SY family that owns SM has 30 billion. One example of Pinoy billionaire. There you go. Yeah, if anybody's going to know, Fortune can answer that. If anybody doesn't know, Fortune here, he is like my Philippine insider because he is Filipino. He's lived here all his life. He's involved in banking. He knows his numbers. He knows his history. He knows a lot of statistics. So I'm blessed and thankful to have him in my live stream, that's for sure. All right, so Terrence says near Philly. So then I'm not so stupid all the time. I thought Easton was in the eastern part of the state, which Duh, maybe Easton kind of gives it away as well. But Rick Wallace putting it out there when my birthday is. Oh boy. Yes, April 6th. April 6th, I'll be 56 years old. 56 years of age, 56 years young, or just 56, whatever makes you feel better. I don't care. I'm just happy that I have my health at 56, feel good, no issues, and blessed to wake up every day with some good health. That's all I care about, and that was probably a big part of the reason why I decided when I could make this work and live here at 55, well, started living here technically at 55. Yeah, I could live off my pension and savings and make it work. Back to the streets. You don't need to look at me. Nothing to see. Fortune says SM Group owns BDO, the #1 bank, China Bank, the #4 bank. It owns other supermarket brands like SM, Cherry, Walter Mart. They own Philippine franchise hotels like Conrad and Radisson. Hey, Nihal. Like I said, that's for short. I'm not going to try and pronounce that, but it says, Mike, good afternoon. Thank you for being here, Nihal. Happy Friday from Dumaguete, Philippines. Another beautiful, beautiful day. Chicago Kid says, Philippines. Terrence says, do they have rock concerts there? I have seen on Facebook, I mean, they've had little concerts here. I wouldn't necessarily call them rock music, rock concerts, but they've had concerts. Some of the bigger, well-known musicians and stuff, I have seen on Facebook, they go to bigger cities in the Philippines. I've seen something, I mean, Thailand obviously gets more of that than here in the Philippines, but I can't say I've been to a rock concert. But there's a lot of cover bands here, local Filipinos, they create their own bands and they do cover songs, but they do cover songs of rock music. Let me see here. Rick says 56, young. Agnes says staying hydrated is important. Fortune says yes, Terrence, that usually is held in SMMOA Arena indoor, 30,000 seater, or in Philippines Arena. Stephen Davis says, hey, cool, hey, check out their Jollibee there where you're at. The pineapple cheeseburger comes from their menu. They may have it where you're at. I will look, Stephen, but again, I'm never a big fan of eating fast food, but I will check it out. Terrence says, I like Rolling Stones. Well, yeah, there's a classic. You can't go wrong with Rolling Stones. Don, maybe Michigan, Don Mitch 3332 says, hello, Castaway from Seattle. Hello, hope all is well. I'm great. Maybe I'm gonna head to, should I get my coconut water now? Maybe I'll go that way. It'll be kind of interesting because I don't have my gimbal. I'm holding my phone in my hand just because I didn't feel like, sometimes I just don't want to use the gimbal. I know it can maybe absorb a little bit of the shock, the shaking on the phone, but I try not to walk too fast and bounce around as best as I can. But at least you know it's legit and I'm out on the streets shaking a little bit. Summer Thunder 5595 says, I live near Philly, God bless you. Well, Summer Thunder, thank you, and God bless you too. But if you live near Philly, what city or town do you live in? If you're not, if it's okay to share. I'm just curious where you live. Like I said, my current address is Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, but I was born in Western Pennsylvania, which is Altoona. If you've ever heard of Altoona, PA. I know there's an Altoona, Iowa. Terrence says, you're a cool guy, have fun, take care, Michael. Terrence, I appreciate it. Don't be a stranger. Come back again sometime too. I appreciate you being here, just enjoying the live stream. Pure Alaska is here. Hey man, sorry I've been off the grid with no reception. Pure Alaska, what things freeze up in Alaska? Yeah, you're right. I haven't seen you for a while. I've wondered where you've been. Like another person I haven't seen anymore lately is Stone Cold. I know Stone Cold likes to lurk and just hang out and stay quiet, but one person I've noticed who I haven't seen is Stone Cold. So Stone Cold, if you're out there anywhere, hello, I hope you're doing well. But thank you, Pure Alaska, for being here. I appreciate it. I'm glad. It's good to see you that I know you're okay. Thank you again, Terrence. Stephen Davis said, these are Angus burgers, good meat, ask them. Theor fries are a good one too, root beer. All right, Stephen, because it's Angus, that kind of does give me a little, I tried their regular cheeseburger once before, Stephen, and I'll be honest with you, I was like, I just didn't think it was very good beef. That's all I can say. But I love hamburgers, but I typically make my own. Fortune says, in a Philippine arena before, Katy Perry, GNR, U2, Black, Pink, Bruno Mars, Coldplay, Dua Lipa. There you go. See, I figured there were a lot, but it made sense to be like, I don't know if they've ever held anything, celebrities, musicians like that here in Dumaguete. Jeff Routson says, hello from Cincinnati. We'll be there before Christmas. Good to hear, Jeff. Good to hear. Sorry if I'm pronouncing Routson or Rootson. That's nice to know that you'll be here before Christmas. Where exactly in Dumaguete are you going? Or not Dumaguete, where in the Philippines are you going? Is Dumaguete the place you're gonna go, or multiple other places? Obviously, over 7,000 islands, so you have a lot of options. Gary, oh, this is awesome. Gary C1957 says, I'm from Pittsburgh and very familiar with Altoona. Well, welcome, Gary. Small world. I love that. That's why now I always say Altoona, Pennsylvania, because just saying Pennsylvania, then it's like a shock when you say Altoona, and then you got people live near there. I don't know if I've ever met anybody that actually lived in Altoona, like next to it, but not in Altoona. So welcome, that's awesome, Gary. I appreciate you being here. Summer Thunder says Cherry Hill. Oh, so isn't Cherry Hill, New Jersey? Or is that Cherry Hill, Pennsylvania? Why do I think Cherry Hill, there's a Cherry Hill, New Jersey? Mr. Doobie said, hello. Pure Alaska says it warmed up here. It's -3. Man, again, I'm not envious of you in that cold weather, but I appreciate you being here. Glad you're okay. It's nice to see you again. Mr. Doobie says, nice place. Where are you there? I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines, Mr. Doobie. Dumaguete, Philippines, but I'm from the United States. This is Quezon. I call it Quezon. Looks like Queen, but a lot of people say it's called Quezon Park, although it's Quezon, Quezon. Eddie, I'm just going to call you Eddie, says hello from Malaysia. Welcome, Eddie. I appreciate you being there. And again, if you're new to my channel, I greatly appreciate a thumbs up, a like. That helps my channel grow. And without you guys, none of this is possible anyway. And if you're interested in subscribing to my channel, that would also be very helpful, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it's like I always say, people always thank me for doing the live stream, but honestly, I'm to be thanking you guys, because I need you guys to join me on my walks and talks to, you know, create a good, you know, just a nice, friendly, awesome environment, you know, especially with people who knows where they're from. Maybe they can come here someday. I hopefully inspire people. And if they can't come here, I can at least show them things through my eyes. If it, you know, financially they could never come to the Philippines, or health-wise they couldn't come to the Philippines. And that's why I do it, just because I'm inspired and I have fun and I enjoy it. But I'm heading to get coconut water, if you guys are wondering where I'm going. And Mr. Doobie, yes, I'm in Dumaguete. Mr. Doobie, yeah, I'm in Dumaguete. I'm heading to get some buku juice. I need some coconut water. Pure Alaska, thank you so much for becoming a member. I like that. I greatly appreciate it. Again, I don't really have any members only content. So I feel bad in that respect when you become a member. Someday I'm gonna have to maybe just do like a member only live stream with Che or something like that, and I don't know, maybe cover other topics that I don't normally, talk about on a normal live stream. Who knows? But I appreciate you becoming a member. That at least that's very generous of you just to support my channel, and I'm very thankful, Pure Alaska. And again, like you just said it, just happy to support. I'm happy you support me by just being here. The thumbs up is the ultimate gift anyway, but I greatly appreciate that. Let me Eddie says, looks like you have a few kilometers. It's not that far from here, actually. It's right up the street, past the public market. Right near Unitop is the place that I go. It's right near Unitop. Let me kind of go back here. Summer Thunder says, yes, New Jersey. So I was right, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. It's amazing how things just stick in your head. Cherry Hill. I knew New Jersey has a lot of good high school football in the state of New Jersey. So again, I'm a big college football fan, and I know where talent comes from, and New Jersey certainly produces a lot of talent. Yes, Eddie, I'm in the Philippines, Dumaguete, Philippines. Eddie says, I just subscribed your channel, mate. Thank you very much, Eddie. I greatly appreciate it. Tim Short says, Upper Darby. Upper Darby. Upper Darby. Now, Upper Darby is where again? I apologize, it does sound familiar. Eddie says, looks like you have... Yeah, I'm not that far. Dawn says, I visited Tagaytay City and stopped in to meet Ray back. Oh, okay, Ray back in November while me and my wife were on vacation over in the Philippines and Thailand. Now I'm following you, Dawn. I remember, you know, Ray having visitors. I appreciate that, Dawn. That's really cool. So now, Dawn, I guess you're back home. You visited Tagaytay, you stopped in to meet Ray. Nihao says, Mike, you're on Cologne Street. Upper Darby is a Philly suburb. Okay, I thought that sounded familiar also. I'm surprised I remember so many, you know, I'm not very good with like directions, street names, like, and it's funny, I'm usually like a, you know, make a left at Krispy King, and then make a right at the fruit stand. Like, I'm one of those guys. I'm like terrible when it comes to addresses, unless I'm obviously using a GPS. Oh, Upper Darby is in PA. Okay, I got you, Summer Thunder. Pine Grove, I've heard of Pine Grove also. That's so cool you guys are here from Pennsylvania. So that means it's after midnight for you guys, which I greatly appreciate. You're here, you're up so late. I know some people have to get up for work because it's Thursday night for you. I did want to mention before I forget, my one subscriber, I consider him a friend, Dude on Roll, and some other people have asked me, hey Michael, do you think you could do a nighttime live stream, like walking during the evening? I mean, I've done one with Che, and we were out on New Year's Eve here, and it was obviously dark, but I didn't do like a walk through, kind of like going on the similar roads that I'm on now at night, but I can do it. Like, it gets dark here at 6 o'clock. So I was thinking I might do that tomorrow, which would be Saturday around 6 or 7 p.m., which would be, well, 7 p.m. would mean 6 in the morning for East Coasters. So that might be a little too early. So I'm not sure like how good of a turnout that would be. I just want to make it worth people's while. I would definitely do it if enough people are interested in it. Yeah, address in the Philippines. Yeah, my address is by the ocean, Dumaguete, Philippines. Yeah, I'm almost at the place that I get the buku juice. Tim Short, Pine Grove, Dr. Red, all right, Nihal says, Dr. Red Talker says, I used to live next to golf course in Upper Darby. Eddie says, looks like you have a few kilometers. I'm kind of going back here. Oh, Jeff Winter says, hello from Levittown, PA. A lot of people from Pennsylvania tonight. That's really cool. I appreciate that. You know, I'm born and raised in Altoona, PA, so Pennsylvania is where I grew up majority of my life, with the exception of 2 years. I lived in Florida, which I'll be honest, I'm a warm weather guy, and I did love Florida. Lived in Palm City, Stuart, Florida. East Coast, loved it. You got planned to come to Malaysia? Maybe someday, Eddie. There's so many places that I would love to visit. And I guess if I had that kind of money to just go and do whatever I wanted when I wanted, I would probably be doing it more. But that's all right, you know. I have something to look forward to. It's no different than like planning a vacation and a trip. I'm gonna get this coconut water here. This is where I go all the time. Hopefully, yeah, my friends are here. Oh, hey, Francis Jensen, good day, my friend. Great to catch you. Great that you're here. Nice to see you, Francis. Thought I had 35. Yeah, I got 35. Coconut water time. What Gary say? I'm in Mabalacat, Pampanga with my wife right now. Originally from Pittsburgh, but we now have homes in Coeur d'Alene ID and Flathead, Lake Montana. 6 months at our home. That's a big one because it's heavy and I'm holding it. All right, let me try and drink this, guys. I won't be ignoring you. I'm just trying to drink it because the quicker I drink, the less heavy it is. Yeah, 35 Philippine pesos for that. That's pretty good. Yeah, I love coconut water. But Gary, that sounds like a great plan. Flat Montana, 6 months at our home, and then 6 months in the U.S. See, yeah, I've heard people do that. I guess it's kind of like being a snowbird, you know? A lot of people would be up in the northern states on the East Coast during the summer, and in the winter they go back down to Florida. Yeah, exactly, Fortune. Gary's getting out of the winter snow issues. Rick Wallace says, when's the next time you'll be on? I'm thinking about doing it tomorrow evening. Maybe 7 o'clock at night here, which would be 6 o'clock a.m. Eastern time, so that's early. And we'll see how it goes, you know. If I don't get that big of a turnout, then I probably won't last very long. Art Parks, this weekend's plans are kind of up in the air. Che wasn't feeling all that well. She was kind of dealing with her time of the month, if you know what I mean. So that's kind of in limbo what we do. Again, Francis, I appreciate you being here. I'm just trying to go back, scroll through these while I'm drinking this coconut water. Gary says, I have the best of all worlds, and to top it off, a beautiful Filipino to pamper me for the last 15 years. I agree with you. You're living the good life. You're living your dream. I used to say I'm living the dream, but I say I'm living my dream because it is my dream. Ultimately, it's my dream. Hey, summer boy, it's good. I'm just drinking my coconut water. Sorry, I'm standing in one spot. I'm kind of chugging it. Francis says, way to go, Gary. Yeah, that just sounds like an awesome plan. If I could do 6 months on and off, that would be kind of nice. I probably wouldn't do that long over in the U.S. though. But I'm planning on going back either the end of May for my mom's birthday, or June or July. It'll be the summertime when I go back to the States. I'm not going back to the States when it's cold. No way. Yeah, it's super nice. I'm almost done with this water, guys and girls. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Amping. There. Amping. You can have it. Thank you. See you. Thank you for waiting, guys. Sometimes that can be a challenge chugging that. I don't usually drink stuff that fast. Yeah, I left the meat for them. Sometimes I eat it or take it with me, but I just left it for them. But I do eat it. Just not this time. Exactly, Gary. Like you said, live your dream and don't worry about the others. Yeah, and it's crazy too. I mean, obviously doing YouTube, when you put your life on social media, you open yourself up to negativity and criticism, and whether it be jealousy or simply hating on you for being happy. It's kind of funny. Actually amazing that you can be happy and people hate on you for being happy. It's kind of wild. So if you're miserable, they're gonna hate on you for being miserable. JR says, be careful now, it's so hot these days. Yeah, it's like, well, it was 85 the last time I checked the temperature, but right now it feels fine. I just try to, like I said, people always say, Michael, why don't you walk on the sidewalks? I'm like, well, quite honestly, a lot of the sidewalks are covered with motorbikes. That's just the way it is. So you just kind of find your place to go. Yeah, JR, I have natural zinc sunblock on my face. I put that on my face. That's typically the only place that I really wear it or need it. I'm trying, but yeah, you can definitely tell it's Friday here. It's busy. Everybody out and about. Yeah, Summer. It would be my girlfriend, not my wife. I'm not married. Whenever that, if and when that ever happens, that'll happen on its own. I live one day at a time, enjoy everything. She's an amazing person, but yeah, I don't really think about that. We don't walk on sidewalks too. I found a little spot, but sometimes you just kind of go with the flow. I'm used to it now. I mean, obviously when I first came to the Philippines, I always tell people it was overwhelming and a little unusual, but you get used to it, especially here in Dumaguete. For me and my experiences here in Dumaguete, they're very pedestrian friendly. They don't, they pay attention to people that are just walking, Yeah, you get used to it. Exactly, JR. Ben says, in the Philippines, sidewalks become parking spots. Exactly. And it's almost like, instead of me just going up and over and zigzagging, I just kind of take the path of least resistance, find a spot like now. But yeah, like, see, these are all sidewalks. Motorbikes. Yeah, I wonder, I mean, I know Francie, she said bring her favorite treat. I know she likes chocolate. But then who doesn't like chocolate? She likes sour mango. She likes, obviously, kind of like a lot of the simple things. She doesn't really need she doesn't need a whole heck of a lot, and she's happy, which is nice. That's another thing that's very different here in the Philippines. If you meet a good Filipina, they appreciate the simple things because they're used to it. Francis says, how hot will it get today? It's like 85 now. I don't think it's supposed to get too much hotter. But again, when you're closer to the equator, the sun is much stronger. So that's why JRL mentioned about sunblock, you know. But I only use natural sunblock sunscreen. I don't use any chemical based. I'm very weird and strict about stuff like that. Everything absorbs into your skin. Everything. I have no interest in putting a chemical based anything on my skin. Just not, I was gonna go. I'm just not interested. I don't think that's the healthy thing to do. There are natural alternatives. Eddie says, I gotta go, first mate. See y'all and take care. See you again. See you again, Eddie. Thank you for being here. If the mayor there implements rules and be strict about it, people will follow. I guess you're talking in regards to people parking. Tim Short says, why don't you have a scooter? Tim, to be all honest with you, first and foremost, I walk everywhere. I walk everywhere. Dumaguete is very convenient for me. Yes, I walk probably more than the average person, but I just don't have a reason to get one. I would hardly use it. Now, second reason why I don't have a scooter is because initially when I came here, I was like, I don't know if I could ever just drive out and all this. I didn't feel comfortable in it, having my, you know, American traffic law mindset. So that was reason number two, to be honest with you. And I just thought, well, if I ever get a motorbike, I will probably more than likely rent one if I want to take a trip somewhere, if I don't have another option. I definitely would feel better learning how to ride a motorbike outside of the city first, in more of a province, rural area, and then work my way into the city. It would probably be easier for me. Let me go down to the bottom. Stephen Davis says, I think that marriage is for having babies and family, a home sweet home. Being single is best, especially in the Philippines, although when love comes, you follow. Yeah, I agree with that. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like, for me personally, coming here to the Philippines, I want to experience and do a lot of things. And being honest, I'm not interested in starting a family or anything like that. I don't want to not be able to do things. You know, I retired. I want to be able to go places whenever I want, do whatever I want. I've never, you know, and I want to enjoy this while I still can. And that's kind of why I'm like that. I don't, you know, that may sound or come off as selfish, but I just want to do things and do this for me. And again, there's so much to do and so much to see. I haven't even begun. And I guess I just enjoy being in a relationship with Che, but also having like a certain level of freedom, if that makes sense. Jeff Johnson says, hey, Mike, dude on a roll. Hey, dude, I was just talking about you not long ago. I'm going to do a live stream. I'm trying tomorrow night, which would be nighttime here, but it would be early morning for you guys. So I guess we'll see what the turnout will be. Even 8 o'clock at night here tomorrow night would mean 7 a.m. in the morning, East Coast, like Pennsylvania, East Coast. That's still really early. I don't know how many people are going to be up at 7 in the morning, Friday morning. Philip, that was so nice of you. I see that pop up. He sent somebody a gift membership. Who got it? Don Mitch. Don, you just got a membership courtesy of Philip Montgomery, who I cannot say enough about Philip, as well as many others. But Philip, thank you so much for doing that. Appreciate your generosity. And Don, if you're still there, I hope you are, Don, but now you're basically going to look green, but you are a member of my channel thanks to our good friend Philip Montgomery. God bless you, Philip. Humbled, always humbled. There's Don, says thanks, Philip. Yeah, that's awesome. Philip is that's just so nice and so generous. Nice, Philip. Congrats, Don. Yeah, it's kind of neat when someone does that, like Philip just did, and then a random person gets it. It's like surprise, surprise. That's so nice. But again, thank you, Philip. Dude on a roll says facts, fingers. Philip says no problem, guys. JR says, wow. Gary says, way to go, Philip. Congrats, Don. And that's what again, just you guys being here, simple as that. Just you guys being here, taking the time out of your life. And I will say this over and over again, like I'm beating a dead horse, beating a drum. How's that? I don't want to offend somebody and say beating a dead horse, although that's a saying. That's the thing that makes these live streams so special and intimate. You build this community of people, great people, especially the ones that continue to return, and then you get new people that come. I can't say enough about it. YouTube has definitely opened up some amazing doors to meeting some amazing people. So thank you to everybody. I can't say it enough. I mean, really, thank you to everyone. Yeah, Nihal. Yeah, I'm on my way to the Boulevard. You're right. You knew which direction I was going. Towards the water again, and then I'll go up and around, back through the city, through the main strip of the city on a Friday. Try not to bounce too much. Try to read some of these. Derek says 2 a.m. from Hawaii. See, I always get confused too, like what time zone is Hawaii actually in? If it's 2 a.m., I guess, well, Pacific is West Coast, and then you're over another one. I see you, Prabha. Prabha with the hearts is here. John Pache or Pashi or Paki says hi. Nihal says, Mike, you are in front of Holy Child Hospital. Yeah, I was. You're exactly right. It's funny how much I've learned. Let me see here. Dawn says, Gary, I met my Filipina here too when I was 32 and she was 27. We were divorced. I'm 60 now and she's 55. She has 2 from her past and 1 with me who just turned 21. Congratulations on that, Dawn. That's great to hear. Congratulations, though. That just sounds like a perfect situation. Everything worked out great for you. And again, thank you for simply being here. Summer Thunder says, I don't believe in marriage anymore, just a paper. And I can understand why people think that way. I can understand that. And quite honestly, when you think about it, your marriage is between you and that other person, and whether God's involved in that or not, it's you, that person, and God, or just you and that person. To me, the piece of paper really doesn't represent anything. It really doesn't. It's just a piece of paper. But I can see that, looking at it that way. I mean, Mike's a man about foot. Philip says, Don, much respect, sir. Thank you. Derek says, Hawaii is 5 hours behind the East Coast. All right, so California, then Hawaii. I'm with you now. Possum says 9:35 Pacific. Gary says, Don, I'm a Navy vet and my son is a Master Chief with retirement ceremony on April 1st after 20 years. We head back to the U.S. in 2 weeks. That's great, Gary. And again, what time is it here, Francis? 1:36 p.m. in the afternoon, 1:36 p.m. Well, Francis says, congrats, Gary, safe travels. What a cool event, best wishes. And I wanted to personally say, Gary, I have heroes in life. Obviously, my mother and father are my heroes, but the men and women service members are my heroes. Like, not Spider-Man, not Captain America, not Iron Man or stuff on TV, you know, fictitious superheroes. I've always just had such an high respect, regard for our men in service, men and women and members, service members. It's a tongue twister. Always have. And so when I meet people and they introduce themselves here or on my live streams, much respect to you and everyone. So I personally thank you, because other than my mother and father being my true heroes, it's you guys, and men and women. But yeah, it feels good here, guys. I gotta admit, the air feels good. Daryl Wall says, awesome. Yes, Gary says it was always my honor to serve. Much respect to you. Eric's Power says our heroes are wonderful. I agree with you. Daryl Wall says Hawaii is 3 hours behind LA. And welcome, Daryl Walls. Welcome, Eric's Powers. Francis says, here, what Mike said. Thank you. Ben's with the salute. It's beautiful today, guys. And I'm not trying to rub it in your face or make anybody jealous. Maybe jealous in a good way or envious. If you've never been to Asia or South Asia, here in the Philippines, warm weather, and you health-wise can travel or financially can travel, take a chance in life. You just might be surprised. You just might like it. And again, people always ask me what's your favorite things about the Philippines. It's the people first. It's the people. I'm gonna do one more last little round trip around the city, and then I'll be at my limit. I usually go a little like 2 hours, but I don't like to bore people either. And I know I say that all the time, and then I get in trouble for saying I'm boring, which I get it. Some people would be bored. Eric S. Powers, thank you for the correction. All right, now I'm following you. I'm just gonna call you Eric. But thank you, Eric. Daryl says, I was stationed at Naval Air Station, Barbers Point, Hawaii, many years back. Daryl, thank you for being here. Much respect. I love when I get everybody in here, I'm telling you. But military guys, men, women, I'm honored and humbled. I really am. That's great to hear. Yes, I have lip balm on, Francis. I made sure, I put as much on as I can. Here's the thing. I used to carry my all zinc lip balm in my pocket, a little tube of it. Well, obviously that stuff melts. I did it one time while I was here, had it in my pocket, went to retrieve it from my pocket. It was literally, it took the cap, it leaked, I took the cap off, it was like soup. So it was just too hot to have it. It just poured out like soup. So I loaded it on, it's zinc, it's like whitish. I loaded it on as much as I could. And thank you for noticing, Francis. I do have the lip balm on. Derek says Barbers Point was turned over to the state of Hawaii. Possum Cat is laughing. Rick Wallace says, you're far from boring. See, I told you, as soon as I say that, hey, mayong hapon. I always see, and that's awesome. You know how cool that is? These, I walk everywhere, obviously, you guys know that, but a tricycle driver will just stop by that recognizes me and he says hello. He just wants to say hi. That is just, I don't know, it's so humbling that people want to be a part of any live stream, let alone mine. Philip says, we're all waiting on that fishing boat vlog. Yeah, I did speak to somebody about doing it, exchange Facebook information with a local Filipina here. She's supposed to contact me back. She said she knows some local Filipinos that she can trust, I can trust. And her words were, and she's a Filipina. I just met her and she just said, I'm gonna hook you up with some people that won't take advantage of you, Michael. So that was nice to know. So yeah, I'm waiting too, Philip. Hopefully it happens sooner rather than later. I might have to go back down there. Stephen Davis says, time to get a new hat with a larger brim, shade, no skin cancer. Yeah, you know, Stephen, it seems, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm doing good. Like, you know, I blowed it up on there, on my face. I put it on my ears, like I put it everywhere. My arms, I don't get, like, seem like I'm brownish now, like I've adapted. But I do use it. The brand, I mentioned it before, the brand I use is called Badger, B-A-D-G-E-R, Badger. It's like natural zinc, but I appreciate that. I will need a new hat because this one's like starting to fade, and I think the material's starting to get a little weakened from the sun. This is like my favorite hat. I bought it in the US, company called King and Fifth. I'm gonna look on Amazon and see if I can get one through Amazon. Probably have to pay like extra for like a import kind of tax or something like that. But definitely need that. I need to buy myself some new Brooks shoes soon too, because these things are getting worn out. 10 plus miles a day and they're getting worn out. Let me go to the bottom. Francis retracted something. Eric says you're getting tan, having fun. Yeah, like I said, I usually did get fairly tan. Even growing up in Pennsylvania, only having the summer months, my skin got a little more tanner, browner than my family's. Like I don't know. And then I think I've adapted well here, being in the Philippines. And like I said, you get random shade, you get a little sun, and you should get some direct sunlight daily. It's healthy, it's needed, you need it. That's my opinion anyway. I rarely ever get sick. Natural vitamin D seems to work out really well for me. But a lot of times you're in sun, you're in the shade, like right now. Daryl says, I was in the Philippines when Mount Pinatubo erupted many, many years ago. Yeah, I guess that's the one, that's the one thing I haven't experienced yet, which is good, I guess, in a way. It'd be interesting to see an eruption, but I wouldn't technically want to see one because that could be obviously dangerous for others. Wow, they ripped up this whole store, putting something else in there. Veronica says, hi, how are you? I'm doing good, Veronica. Happy Friday from Dumaguete, Philippines. Out and about on my walk. And then again, if you're new to the channel and you haven't given me a thumbs up, please give me a like. If you could do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel and you're interested in following the simple life of a simple guy named Michael from Pennsylvania and United States, with the exception of 2 years, I did live in Florida. I guess I'm not technically a Floridian, I'm a Pennsylvanian. I'd greatly appreciate that also. Rolando Mendiola says hi. Brooks are awesome. Glycerin are not bad, but expensive. Yeah, I get glycerin, although I like Ghost. These ones I have on are Ghost. Glycerin and Ghost. And the Stealth ones, the Glycerin Stealth, I like because the tongue and the shoe are all one piece. They're very comfortable. But yeah, Brooks Glycerin are usually my top, and then I've gotten Ghost, and they have other different models. But yeah, I've tried so many different walking shoes, and Brooks are my go-to. They're certainly higher than Nike. Nike's nice, but they're not as comfortable as people think. They're just, to me, Nike's more of a name, fashion. But I like, Brooks would be first. Number 2 would maybe be New Balance up there. Asics would be up. Saucony would be up there. On would be there. But like Adidas, they're low. I had good expensive Adidas, and they wore out quickly on the bottom. Adidas weren't very good. I had Nike. They didn't last very long. I mean, I'm about comfort in the shoe, but then the bottoms, what can withstand and hold up on the mileage and not get worn down? And Brooks seemed to last me longer than anything. Nike Shocks are nice, but Brooks definitely. Yeah, and it wasn't a hard sell for me, for Brooks either. You know, I've been buying all the name brand stuff forever, and one time this was years ago, went into this shoe place. Sorry about this noise. Let me get past. It's kind of loud right here. I don't know what they're doing. But I went to I don't know, Dick's Sporting Goods, some shoe place at one time in the States. And the kid said, hey, have you ever tried Brooks? And I was like, no. So he gave me a pair of Brooks and then 4 other different brand pairs. Nike was in there, Adidas, and a couple other ones. He said, you try on all these, but he said, put the Brooks on last. And then that's what I did. And just it's like putting your foot into a pillow. So the feeling of the Brooks on my feet were great. And then I bought those. And then I started to learn which shoes held up the best on the bottom, and it was still the Brooks. So I'm kind of, obviously have a bias towards Brooks. They're my go-to shoe. But I know if I want to get them, I have to either go to Cebu or Manila to get them shoes here. I could order them on Amazon, but there's a huge import tax on there. I'm not going to pay that kind of money if I can get them here. I have a friend that's in Manila who might just get me a pair and ship them down here, and then I'll pay him for them. Eric says, got mine from something. Rick Wallace says, give me your address and I'll send you a couple of hats. CC Michael. That's okay, Rick Wallace. Actually, I'd even know my exact address. I'd have to look it up. But I appreciate the thought. I don't even know my complete, well, I guess to an extent I do know my address, but that's okay. I appreciate the thought. You guys all do enough for me, just supporting me and my channel. Francis says, how far is Manila? Plane ride, I would guess at least an hour and a half, maybe more. Fortune probably knows that. I've never flown from here to Manila. I mean, I know from here to Cebu, heck, as soon as you're at your height in the sky, you're coming right back down. It's not even 45 minutes maybe if you're flying from here to Cebu. And Manila's not, I mean, it is further. Maybe Manila's an hour and a half to 2 hour flight from here. I'm not 100% sure. I've never looked it up. Dr. Red says, Michael, it's actually your perspiration and sweat that breaks down the hat material. Hard to hand wash and not affect shape. Watch videos. Yeah, like I said, this is my favorite hat. I just love it because it's a trucker style hat. But they made them, this company made them, called Kings and Fifth. They made these hats, because most trucker hats, when you get them, they're huge. They sit real high off your head. And obviously, if you don't have a big head, it looks kind of goofy. And you pull it down, it's like down over your ears. Like, it's like that. This brand, this guy's company, he wanted to make them so now it's just a strap on the back, but he made them smaller, more fitted to the average person's head. So it's not like you gotta, like, your head's like way up here. So that's why they're so cool. They just fit so much better. And I like the trucker hat because it's more breathable, like mesh. But I only brought this one when I came came here from the US. But I did find them on, they do have them limited colors on Amazon. So I have one in my basket, my cart, to order one. They're typically like $30 in the US. Here, it showed $39. So it was like $10 more. So you're looking like at a $40. I know it's ridiculous for a cap. But it is what it is. If you want to get something you like, you got to pay for it. Fortune says flying hour is 1 hour, but counting possible days maybe an hour and a half. So, all right, that was a good guess on my behalf. Like I said, I've never been to Manila, so I didn't know exactly what it was. Eric says, got mine from a store called Happy Feet Plus in Tampa. I mean, yeah, I used to get my shoes from a place in Maryland called Hollabird Sports. I could order a pair of shoes and then the next for free delivery. I do miss that when it comes to shoes and stuff like that. If there's anything I miss, the convenience in the US, and obviously if you order Amazon, you usually get it overnight or within 2 days, free shipping. Although I just got an Amazon package yesterday. It wasn't supposed to arrive until the 10th, and I got it yesterday, so it did come 5 days early. But I order stuff early enough that's like if it's my supplements I get or my mushroom coffee, I order it early enough so I don't, before I run out of what I currently have, because I know there's a little bit of a delay in the time. Rick Wallace says, I wear mess hats too. Like, Dr. Red says, Under Armour makes a stealth phone. Hey! All right, enjoy your snack. Yeah. What are you getting? You want me to come? All right, he's getting snacks. I'm not. I hope the is okay.
What you want?
Oh my gosh, what are you gonna get? They want to get me a snack. I hope I don't lose the internet in here. We'll see what happens. All right.
Junk foods or
Like, I will pay.
No, let me get it for you. Let me see.
no, I have money here.
I have money too.
It's okay because I'm the one who invited to buy.
Oh,
That's why
my God.
here in Philippines, if you will invite, they will pay.
Just a little, just something small. I don't need a lot. I'm not that hungry, but I'll come with you anyway because you invite me.
Would you like drinks or?
I hope I don't lose the internet. I might have to.
You're
Yeah, the signal. I might have to go out. Yeah. I started to lose the signal. You don't have to get me. You just get something for you. I'll get something the next time.
Okay.
I'm going to let you go. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Amping. Oh, who said signal was okay? Yeah, I was worried the signal was going to go. I don't want them to get me something. That's how nice they are here in the Philippines. They're so humble. They treat me to stuff, and I'm like, I don't want you guys to treat me to stuff. They insist on it, but Fortune, you gotta go. You have a 2 p.m. meeting. I appreciate it, Fortune. Have a good weekend. If I don't see you tomorrow night, I'm potentially doing a live stream tomorrow night to show the nightlife in the Philippines. Hello.
My friend Michael.
Thank you very much. I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Good. Happy Friday.
Friday.
You work tomorrow?
Yes.
You work tomorrow? You all work? You work tomorrow? Oh, they all work tomorrow. What about you?
Yeah.
All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? All right, thank you. See you guys later. Francis says, take care, Fortune. Yeah, thank you, Fortune, for everything that you do for me. Jeff Virgil says, Mike, how's the mushroom coffee? Still good. I love it. I still get everyday dose. That's the brand I get. And no, I'm not sponsored. It'd be nice if I was sponsored by anybody. That'd be cool, like be sponsored by Brooks Shoes or the hat. That's who, Josh Wilson. I haven't seen Josh Wilson in a while either. He might be sleeping though. But he's the one that mentioned, he goes, Michael, they should sponsor you for shoes and the hat, and that'd be nice. But mushroom coffee is great. Wait, let me read this. Dr. Red said, Under Armour makes the stealth form cap that can't be crushed and can be washed without losing shape. High-tech material for sweating. You know what? I did see hats. I don't know if it was Under Armour. I think it was another company. I've seen they make hats like that before. Like, yeah, people would just crush it up into a ball, stuff it into a bag or anything. When it came out, it never, took its form back, which was kind of nice. Treat Life Right. Hello, Treat Life Right. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome back. Happy Friday here in Dumaguete, Philippines. It's almost 2 o'clock, 1:56 p.m. Almost 2 o'clock. Yeah, Jeff, that would be sweet. Represent a company, you know, because I always wear Brooks 10 miles a day in the Philippines. That would be cool. Like I said, I'm loyal to Brooks. Definitely this hat. This used to be like a darker brown. I mean, it's definitely faded. And like I said, eventually it's gonna fall apart. I do wash it by hand, but they're not meant to be indestructible. They're not gonna last forever. But thank you for being here, Treat Life Right. Signals. Quantum Twist says, oh dude, you were the guy that gave me the head down the street. It was pretty good, but not worth, oh boy. Quantum Twist. Unbelievable. I didn't see that. I should have never read it. Don says, do you play golf? So looks like you're a golfer. The only thing I've ever done was go to a driving range and launch golf balls and honestly try to hit the dude in the driving like type of wagon or tractor lawnmower thing sucking up the golf balls. I'll be honest with you, we did always try to see who could hit the guy. 1:56 p.m. local time here is 13 hours ahead of East Coast time. Yep, exactly. And the only reason like I said, I always remember that is because that's where my mother and father are in Pennsylvania. So I know they're 13 hours ahead, but I guess on Sunday or whatever, the clocks get turned back. So it'll be back to 12 hours, half a day. Well, guys, I know it's 1 a.m. for you East Coasters, and I know people on the West Coast, it's a little earlier for you guys. I appreciate it. But again, Dude on Roll, I don't know if you're still there, but he wanted me to do a live stream at night. So tomorrow night around, I don't know what time would be good. 7 o'clock at night here means 6 in the morning for East Coast. So the later, it's not quite as early, but it's still Friday morning, so I don't know. And if I would do it Sunday night, which won't be quite the same as a Saturday night here, but then you guys could be up, you know, because it's a weekend. So I'm trying to figure out what would work the best. Eric says 12:56 a.m. here. Francis said, oh, all right, somebody was timed out. Oh yeah, that would be my great comment from Quantum Twist. Ay. What will we do without trolls? I don't know. Yeah, Dr. Red, Dude on Roll asked me the other day, he asked me if it would be possible to do a live stream nighttime here. So tomorrow night would be Saturday night for me. 8 o'clock at night would be 7 in the morning East Coast. So I don't know what's better. Edwin is here, said, Michael, the Duke of Duma's power walk. Hold on, the sun's too bright, I can't see the screen. Dude on Roll said, yes, I'm here, Michael. Donnie's here also, says, hey, Michael. So Steve Bryant says, you're on Ohio. We set our clocks forward this weekend. Right, which is after 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Sunday night. I forget how that works now. Veronica says, you keep safe. Lynn Angel says Saturday. David says, spring forward and fall back. Exactly. Dude on Roll says, I'm here in Singapore, not the States. My bad. So in the same time zone as the Philippines. Kevin says 2 a.m. So I'm going to do this Dude on Roll for you and we'll see who else shows up. I'm sure there probably might be a lot of people there, maybe different people. Again, 7 o'clock at night means 6 a.m. in Pennsylvania. 8 at night means 7 a.m. Friday morning in Pennsylvania. We got Sharon Castle here. Hello from New York. Welcome, Sharon. Been a while. Daylight savings is 1 a.m. Sunday. Kevin's here from Cleveland. You're a neighbor of mine. My hometown, if you don't know that, is Pennsylvania. Mechanicsburg, PA. Oh my God, Tommy. Oops, maybe I didn't want to do that. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Sorry, Dr. Red. I didn't want to do that. I hit the wrong comment. I want to remove this one. That's it. So disregard Dr. Red. Shows you how inexperienced I am at removing comments. Francis says, see you tomorrow night. Well, it'd be morning for you, Francis, so if you can make it, great. Tommy says, I'm not far from Mechanicsburg, but then you're the one. Come on, Tommy. All good comments. At least that's better. Anyway, if you haven't given me a thumbs up, I'll take a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I always take a subscription too. It helps my channel grow. Other than that, I'm almost at my 2 hours. Sharon says my family was from Philly. I guess Philly, 1950. Possum says thank you and be safe. Hey, appreciate you guys being here. Again, I can't do it without you guys. Well, here's the preliminary plan, barring something unusual. Like I said, live stream, Philippines, nighttime, me just walking around anywhere and everywhere. We'll see who shows up, and hopefully it's a success. We'll see. It'll be definitely different because it'll be dark. So it'll be kind of like a Philippine nightlife in Dumaguete. Sandwater, we're in Dumaguete, Philippines. Mark says, what are you going to do the rest of the day? I'm going to go get something to eat. I had a very light breakfast, so I'm kind of going to eat lunch. Usually I eat a heavier breakfast, lunch combined. I'm going to go eat something with eggs, and definitely eggs. Philip Stubbs says, what's your worst experience here? I don't know if I've really had any bad experiences here, Philip. I don't know if I call it bad experiences. I think you're being a guest here from another country. You're constantly living and learning and getting to know people, and I just treat people kind, respect them, they respect me. Always remember you're a visitor here, and I've never really had any really bad experiences. I've had learning experiences, but I wouldn't necessarily call them that bad. Art Park says, Michael, make sure you block the trolls permanently. It's like weeding the garden, making sure they don't grow back. And I know I can count on you, Art Park. That's why I accidentally timed out Dr. Red, or didn't time him out, hit his message instead of the other guy. Francis says, happy Friday, Mike. Thanks for the walk. See you tomorrow. Not really any bad experiences. Treat Life Right says, what service do you use for your cell phone? I use Smart Data, Load I get. You can get Globe also, and there's one other one, I don't know what it is, but I use Smart. Seems to work out well, unless there's an anticipated scheduled brownout, which is when they do maintenance on the electricity power grids here. Whatever they do can kind of mess with it. Nihal says, Mike, 8 to 9 Saturday night would be fair to all on the East Coast and the West Coast as well. All right, I'll shoot for that. I'll do between 8 and 9 and see how it turns out. So 8 o'clock at night here would be 7 a.m. East Coast Friday morning. Edwin says, we are the Duke of Tuma fan club. I couldn't do it without you guys. Philip says, thanks, Michael. 7 a.m., not me at all, but I'll watch it later tomorrow. Thank you, Philip, again, for everything. Thank you for being you guys are valued to my channel. I couldn't do it without you. Steve Bryan says, happy Friday, Michael. Stay dehydrated. You look like you need a drink. Yes, I do need more water, too. Dude on Roll says, it's Dumaguete, Philippines, get painted, no cussing. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever really cussed. Reginald Reyes says your connection is strong. Well, that's good. It was messing with me last week. Wasn't that good? Reginald says, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you, Reginald Reyes. Where are you from? Before I cut out my live stream, I'm going to end it here in a couple minutes. I'm just taking any of these last minute comments. But again, Steve Bryant, thank you again, as always. Couldn't do it without you. Get some food and get a shower. Yeah, either that or jump in the swimming pool. Oh, Reginald's from Manila. Well, then awesome, Reginald. Welcome from Manila. Art Park says, this has been a sweet live, Michael, with good signal and few issues. Wish Che well, and you both have a great night and weekend. Reginald says, I work from home. That's awesome, Reginald. Holster. I don't think that's going to happen in 2028, but I don't talk about politics, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. Anyway, God bless you guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for always being here. I appreciate everything, and couldn't do it without you. Tomorrow night, that's the plan. We'll see who shows up. Hopefully it's a good one, and thanks, Michael, for the great power walk as usual. Mansouri, hey dude, cool content. We'll be following. Live in Seattle, Makati, and Israel. Wow, you're everywhere. Thank you for the comment. Have a great afternoon, Michael. Enjoy the live stream. Rick Wallace said, what time would that be? If you're in Vegas, right? Oh my goodness, you're gonna have to get up earlier. So even 8 o'clock at night would be 7 a.m. Eastern here in Pennsylvania. You're looking at maybe 5 in the morning Saturday or Friday morning. That'll be tough. Philip Stubbs, thank you, Philip. Francis Johnston, thank you, bye. Thank you very much. Stay well, live life well. Dude on a roll, have a great day. See you tomorrow, dude on a roll. This is for you. Philip Stubbs says, try Aussie time. God bless, thank you. See you guys soon. Appreciate it always. Have a great morning, afternoon, night. See you guys soon. See you tomorrow night. Give it a try. Hope you'll be here tomorrow night. See you guys.